Does it work? Yeah, it works. Recording started. All right. Next up, we have house rules for Adobe user groups. You can all read by yourselves, but I will also highlight them. Please, no self-promotion or pitching of any kind for these events. I think we might come from very different backgrounds as well, customer side as Adobe partner side, and we are here to just share experiences and share knowledge and not pitch anything. Also, please don't contact people outside of this group without their consent. And keep in mind, if we share customer stories in the future and stuff might be not up for disclosing in the internet or share publicly, then please don't do so. Now, coming to the agenda for today. We will first introduce ourselves, so you know who we are in the core team. And then, sorry, I'm in a meeting. Thank you. Then Thomas will take over because there has been a user group in the past, but it just has not been the Adobe official user group, and we will highlight how all of that came into place. And then we will dive right into the highlights from Adobe Summit 2025. And afterwards also talk about your questions and see where we want to take this user group, what might be interesting topics for the upcoming events. My name is Jana. I'm a product owner for the AEM platform that we have at Signal Iduna, which is a German insurance company. I've been with the company for about 7 years, and I have experience in Adobe Experience Manager for 3 years now. So might be a newbie to the whole topic, but still have a lot to share until today. Handing over to Kimon.
Thanks, Jana. Yeah, hi everyone. A warm welcome on my side as well for this kickoff meeting. My name is Kimon Polifoniadis. I see quite a few known, unfortunately not faces, we'll fix the video thing, etc. Next time, but names for sure. I work for Accenture, currently Accenture Song as an enterprise architect, focusing specifically on customer experience, digital marketing, etc., with an obvious focus on Adobe solutions, and doing this for the past, 14, 15 years in the Adobe area. Without further ado, I'll hand over to Thomas.
Yeah, hello everyone. So Thomas Kreh, I'm working in partner solution consulting at Adobe since 3 years. And I have been running this meetups initiative for already, I don't know, 2 years or something. And we recently had some changes here. So maybe a lot of you have participated in the past events of this meetup group here. I saw already many familiar faces in the members list here. Nice to see everyone again. The past events all had, or nearly all had been on site in person, hosted by Adobe partners. So I was mainly driving this initiative, and I used this meetup platform to organize the group and the events and so on. But now, we have a whole global team that's called Adoption Marketing that are handling the global initiative of those user groups. So that's why we consolidated now everything to this Adobe-owned platform. This is why this group here on meetup.com will be closed soon, and the user group meetups will only take place now on this platform here. And luckily, I don't have to do all the work alone anymore. So now I have Jana and Kimon and joined me from the customer and the partner side to run those events. For today, our topic is the summit highlights. So this will be presented by me, but in the next coming events, the plan is that we will have much more content from customers and from partners. So every one of you is invited to contribute something, share their experiences and their knowledge with the peers here. So we want to keep this really open and have an open exchange here. The plan is that we are running those meetups at least quarterly, virtually or on site. So there's still the option to run it on site. If you like, please raise your hand if you like to be the host for us. This is not going away. We will still do that. But for now, we started with the virtual events, and I think it's also a good idea because many more people can join then, and it's a little bit more flexible. But of course, we would also like to see you really face to face. That's why it's always a good idea to run that on site. With that, I think we can already kick off the main topic today, which is around Adobe Summit. It's already been a couple of weeks ago, but now we can do a great recap of all the innovations that were announced at Summit. To be honest, there had been so many announcements, and this deck here that I originally received was so large that I had to cut out a lot of stuff to make it presentable, and it's really so many exciting things. But now we will present the curated list of the top highlights for today and for AEM, of course. But before I get there, let's have the typical legal disclaimer before we start presenting things that are not yet generally available and that are on the roadmap. So some of the things that I will show you here are coming or are hopefully coming up this year, the second half of the year, at least that's the promise. But there's no legal obligation. I mean, the roadmap can always change. Some features can change. So this is not everything will definitely come as presented here. That's just a legal disclaimer here. And with that, let me get started with the topics. So I guess most of you have followed the summit. Maybe you've even attended. If you like, you can post some experiences here in the chat. If you went to Las Vegas and had a great time there, we're happy to hear about that. As you probably most of you know already, the big topic was around agentic AI. So we have come along this journey from more like the analytical AI to the generative AI, and now the big topic is around those smart agents that are kind of autonomously performing tasks and that kind of stuff, and that plays in all of our products now a great role, no matter if it's content, data, or journeys. And the way we build this approach is around our experience platform, where we will now have, or we have now, a so-called agent orchestrator that is, let's say, the technical or technological foundation on which we build those smart agents in an extensible way. And those agents will, on the one side, support the experience creators, the authors, that the marketers that are creating those experiences. And on the other side, it will also help the end customers coming up with the right experiences for their intent. So that's the main topic here: intent-driven experiences. And this is how this new marketing experience architecture looks like. On top, you see many familiar applications from our portfolio, like AEM. There's also one brand new one listed here, which is called Adobe Brand Concierge. And then you have those smart agents that are listed here in the middle, like site optimization agent. This is something we will dive a little bit deeper in today, but also journey agent, experimentation agent, etc. And all is based on this new experience platform, Agent Orchestrator. So the approach that we are running here is, as I said, it's on the one side built for the practitioners that are creating the experiences. It's built for the brand's customers, so the end customers that are consuming the experiences. And everything was developed in an open and extensible and developer-friendly way. So our partners out there can build functionality on top of those agents, on top of the platform. So you can enhance the functionality, integrate to third-party systems, etc., and make that all even richer. It's all based on the approach of using App Builder. And if you develop extensions, for example, you can bring them into the Exchange marketplace. So under exchange.adobe.com, all the plugins, add-ons, etc. are listed. And I can highly recommend to also bring in your developments into that Exchange platform, because there you can gain visibility. People and brands can find you there, and you can also make money via this Exchange marketplace. And it's a great way, to get to know, be found, and promote your developments there. So let's have a closer look on what those agents are and what are their characteristics. So on the one side, you can interact with an agent, and this typically happens through a chat interface. You know that from applications like ChatGPT. So, but you will also have, for example, the possibility to use voice and then speech recognition to interact with the agent. Then the agent reasons, so it can understand you, it can think through your problems, it can understand you, and it can really understand what's your intention, what's your goal, right? And then based on those intentions, it can act and it can perform tasks on your behalf, like, for example, generating a new experience that you then can publish on the website. So that's how agents work. And of course, there's a large spectrum of those functionalities. It can be very simple with single step responses, very tightly defined functionality, right? Directed activities. But it can also get very complex, where an agent performs multiple steps, pulls data from external systems, runs completely autonomous in the background. So there's a large spectrum on how complex those agents can become. And finally, all those agents should support the whole value chain across the customer experience lifecycle. No matter if you're just getting started with the planning, this is more like here the work front piece where you are organizing yourself and your team, and there the agents can help. Then you're maybe creating the experiences using AEM, for example. But on a later stage, you maybe are creating audiences you want to personalize, you're orchestrating journeys, etc. And at each step, those smart agents are supporting you, are making you more efficient, more effective. So that's the goal. Yeah, and beside those smart agents, we also leveraged a couple of completely new products that you can see listed here. Adobe Brand Concierge is one. That is a whole new, let's say, application, but also interface that brings together content and data in order to provide the right offers to the right people at the right time. So really, performing an intent-driven experience. There's also a B2B edition available. When it comes to Experience Manager, I think the most exciting announcement here is called Sites Optimizer, a smart tool that monitors the whole traffic, monitors the whole application, and gives a lot of recommendations around SEO, security, engagement, accessibility, etc. So everything that you can improve at your website. Then we have Journey Optimizer, Experimentation Accelerator, and also very interesting, the integration to Microsoft Copilot. That is a very interesting thing. So basically you can interact with the Experience Cloud through Microsoft Copilot, through a chat interface. You can, for example, pull reports and ask questions about the data, about your audiences and stuff like that. So that's quite exciting. But this is an AEM meetup, and that's why we focus now on the AEM innovations, right? So let's get to the Experience Manager. Oh, and by the way, if you have any questions, please ask them in the chat. We will collect them, and we will stop them after, I think, each part here of Experience Manager and see if you have any questions. And in the end, we will also have a longer Q&A. Okay, let's get started with Experience Manager assets. So there have been this concept of building collections of assets before, right? It's called the asset selector, where you can create a collection that you are publishing somewhere or sharing with people. And this whole curation and search for and collection for assets, this has become much smarter right now. Now you can have a chat interface, a prompt, where you can describe what your intention is, what kind of assets you are looking for which purpose, for which target group, etc. And this content advisor understands your intent and collects the right resources out of your repository for you. And this is a really smart and effective way to very quickly create great collections of content that you can use for a marketing campaign, or that you would like to share with, let's say, an external sales team or whatever. So the whole curation process gets much smarter with this content advisor, which is based on the so-called Content AI Foundation. That's the model that we are running here in the background on AEM Assets. But it's not only about the curation. A lot of the times you are leveraging the search for assets, and in the past this has been not that smart, right? It was just a keyword-based search. So you were entering some keywords like, I don't know what we can see here on the image. You were searching for, I don't know, a landscape image, and it was purely keyword-based. So it was looking for the metadata of the asset, and if there was a match, this search result popped up. Now this has become much smarter. So on the one side, we have those smart tags that have been here for a while already. So the AI is basically detecting what you can see on the image and is enhancing the metadata with it. But on the other side, we improved now the search functionality. So it's now vector-based. So we're basically using machine learning and natural language processing to really understand your intent. So you can enter now a much longer, more complex ask, what you would like, what you're looking for. And the search is really understanding your intent and can provide much smarter search results. For example, also based on synonyms, because it's really understanding what you want. It's not just searching for the right keywords, right? Yeah, let's quickly stay with the search here, because now it is also possible to search across multiple content repositories or asset repositories, as you can see here in this graphic. Maybe you're familiar with Content Hub, which is our interface that you can use to consume assets and content out of the repository. And you now can connect Content Hub to multiple repositories in the back end. So let's think, for example, about a really large enterprise that has a lot of divisions and maybe different brands, etc. And you can, and each of those brands may have their own repository, and you can now all connect them all and make all the content available through that Content Hub. So let's say your, for example, external sales team can search and retrieve and download all the sales material for across all the brands. That may be one use case. So that's we call that federated search, and it gives you simply very quick and out of the box capability to search across repositories. And by the way, this Content Hub is also extremely performant. It has a very performant interface, so you can very quickly find what you're looking for. Yeah, let's stay with that theme of searching. I mentioned already the smart tags. So the smart tags are there already for, I don't know, a couple of years. Back in the times, we called it Adobe Sensei, the analytical AI that is looking at your images and at your assets and is detecting what you can see on it. And that worked out quite well in the past and is still working out quite well. And now we enhance that functionality a lot. So it's getting even smarter. It can, for example, also detect text in images. It has this optical character recognition. It can detect brands and logos. And in that way, it can make the smart text much smarter. It can enhance the assets with much more information. Also coloring and stuff like that. It can detect products. You can train it, right? So that way, it helps you a lot with overcoming this manual approach of appending metadata to images and assets and videos, etc. Right? So that all plays into the same topic around organizing assets, finding, retrieving them, etc. Right? But that's not all of the innovations. We're also opening up more and more the system. I mean, there have been integrations to our own solutions already for a while, to Creative Cloud, for example. But we're building more and more of those integrations. So, for example, you can see the Workfront logo here. It's now possible to create tasks in Workfront, to organize your team via Workfront, create those tasks. And the tasks can be directly assigned to people that are working in AEM, no matter if it's the assets part or the sites part. You can tell people, for example, to create a landing page, and the people can then pick up that task from within Experience Manager, create that landing page, send it back into the approval workflow that goes back to Workfront, and have a customized approval there, for example. And we're building more and more of those connectors, that out-of-the-box connectors you can see.
Thomas, you're muted. Sorry for that.
Oh, I'm muted? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long was I muted? Was this only
the last 10-15 seconds maybe?
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so these have been the AEM Assets innovations. Let's now get... Oh no, sorry, I missed one. Content analytics. This is a thing that we are talking already since, I don't know, over a year probably. And finally it's there. Woo! We made it. Content analytics is now, it was relatively long unclear where this will move in, but now it's part of customer journey analytics. And through that, let's call it a module of customer journey analytics, you can now see how your assets are performing. You can see the downloads, the views, and etc. And you can see which assets are performing best, and you can really have rich insights there. It's all also attribute based, so you can also view what kind of topics are working well, you know, if landscape images are working better than city images or stuff like that. So you can really have rich insights of your content and your assets here. Okay, now coming to Experience Manager sites. And here, as I said already, the major announcement was around this new tool, which is called Sites Optimizer. And Sites Optimizer is a whole new product that you can put on top of Experience Manager sites. And it monitors the whole traffic. It analyzes your application, your implementation, and it looks for optimization potential. So it automatically identifies a lot of things that you can improve. It suggests what exactly you should improve, and it even can perform those optimization tasks. So it can not only do recommendations, it can also really do the fixes. And let's have a look on what kind of things it can improve. So when we have a look at the customer funnel, here from acquisition to engagement to conversion, then the first thing is obviously search engine optimization. And here it can analyze the traffic and it can identify, things that are not working as they should. For example, if customers are getting 404 pages, if you have dead links, stuff like that, can identify it, and it can suggest that you should, for example, implement certain redirects to if the content has moved somewhere else or stuff like that. And then when it gets to the engagement, quite important topic here, I think, right now is accessibility, because we have this European Accessibility Act coming into place in June. And basically all the companies out there have to be compliant with this accessibility law and make sure that their websites are also compliant. And this is also something where the Site Optimizer helps to identify problems, and you can basically also perform fixes automatically. And then when we move on to the conversion, Sites Optimizer can also work together with AEM forms. It can also analyze forms and can identify problems with your forms. So you can improve the user experience and in that way enhance the conversion rate. And last but not least, it can also identify security risks that you may have introduced with the implementation of your web. Here quickly summarized again, it can auto-identify, auto-suggest, and auto-optimize. Maybe just a little disclaimer when it comes to the auto-optimizing part, because there often a lot of questions and doubts arise. I mean, we always have to look at what exactly it auto deploys or fixes. So when it comes to content changes, this is relatively straightforward. It just may change something on the content, or may just change a redirect or something like that. That's relatively simple. But of course, when it comes to code changes, it's not that simple, and you may not want it to mess around in your code. So that's why there is still a manual curation or approval process here. So it just suggests code changes that you then have to accept and run through your deployment pipeline and that kind of stuff. So it's not, no worries. It's not just changing your code. Finally, we have also some great success stories already. Here you can see some nice logos. With most of the new products, we're doing this co-creation and co-development process with customers and with partners, and that's why we already have success stories in very, very early stages, because the customers have been part of the development process from the beginning. And here you have a nice story to share from Hershey's, that chocolate and sweets manufacturer from the US. And here you can see some impressive numbers of things that have been improved, like the page speed, the engagement, the security, and accessibility fixes can be performed three times faster here. So very nice use case, very nice success story. So we're still in a quite early phase with this product. That's why we are still looking for early adopters. So if you have customers in mind, or if you're a customer yourself that would be interested in this product, and also if you're a partner and you're looking to implement or to optimize your own projects, please reach out to us. There's an early adopter program we can become part of, and basically start this journey together and enhance, improve this product in an early stage. There's also possibility to extend the functionality, bring in new developments that are not yet there. So you're happily invited to participate here. Okay.
Thomas, we already have a question. Do you want to answer it, or shall I wait?
Yeah, what's the question?
So Alex asks, is this analyzing the deployed page, or can it be set up directly on the author?
It's analyzing a deployed page. So it's maybe you are familiar in Edge delivery services. We introduced this real user monitoring, this kind of analytics functionality, and it's based on the same functionality. So it's really analyzing the whole traffic, and it's running the suggestions on it. So you're basically putting it, or you're activating it for a published site. Yeah. It's not integrated in the authoring workflow, let's say. Hope that answers the question.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah, then we have a couple of innovations that are not GA yet, but that are still coming this year, here in the second half of the quarter of the year. So one is Experience Hub, and in my words, let's say it's a new kind of homepage for the authors of Experience Manager. And here you can see a screenshot of it. Yeah, the goal is really to improve the starting point when you want to create experiences or work, whatever you want to do with Experience Manager. So it can be customized to your persona and to your role, depending of whether you are an author or an admin or a developer. You can really customize this entry point, and it can already give you recommendations and quick start, like short links for your journey, depending on your role. It gives you already suggestions, like you can see here, opportunity for you. And then again, you have this prompt interface where you can describe what your intent is right now, what you want to do. And from there, this Experience Hub takes you then directly to the point where you can do whatever you want to do. Is it creating a new page, or curating something else? I don't know, creating a translation or stuff like that. So that's the Experience Hub. And then from there, it of course also moves to the experience generation. So that's, I guess, also one of the most exciting things. We already introduced that generate variations feature last year, where you could generate variations of text blocks and also corresponding images for your pages. So we improved that concept now, so you can really describe what kind of landing page, for example, you want to create for which audience by using which content, and then this experience generation really generates the whole page for you by using existing templates, by using existing content and assets and stuff like that. And that way you can very quickly create a new page. It's also trying to leverage data of past or already past published experiences. So it creates content in a smart way. So for example, it tries to leverage layouts and stuff like that have worked quite well in the past, and that way improve the whole experience. So that's basically the experience generation. It's also a feature that's coming up in the second half of next year. And it's playing into both modules, AEM Sites and AEM Assets as well. Yeah, then when it comes to the migration project, so when you want to migrate from another technology to AEM, that's often a quite heavy task, the quite long project, and we're often getting questions around migration tools, tools that can help make that process simpler. And one of that was also presented as a sneak at Summit is now called Experience Catalyst. I think the working title was Project Site Leave. Sorry, I quickly have to switch on my headphones. The baby's crying in the background. So Experience is a tool that helps you with that migration. It can import content from another existing website that is running on a third-party system. I think in that demo it was a WordPress site where we pulled the content from. And in the first step, it's just pulling the raw content. And then you also have this chat-like interface. And then it gives you already suggestions for the next steps. And you can, for example, also pull then the design from that existing site and also bring it in here. But you also have the option to merge the content with another design that is maybe already existing in your system. And merge it maybe with existing templates and stuff like that. So that's a tool, I think, that can tremendously speed up that whole migration process. But little disclaimer, it's not yet GA, so it's still in development, and we also have such beta project for it. So if you're interested in it, please reach out so I can refer you to that beta program, and you can become part of that development journey here and be one of the first that is trying it out. Yeah, with that, we are already at the end of our little summit recap. I hope you find it exciting, and now we can directly jump to the Q&A.
And now everyone should have a mic available. If you want to talk, you can also, of course, ask away by text as you wish. I think also for the people that arrived a bit later, maybe you can reiterate, right, that these, or at least some of these features are now available in, let's say, alpha or beta, let's say, or pilot format for customers and their partners that they need to somehow sign up, right? Maybe you can give some hint on that in the process.
Yes, right. So yeah, typically we have certain qualification criteria, and there's typically a form that someone has to fill out to send a request to become part of that beta program. So yeah, I can play the facilitator here. So please just reach out to me, and then I can direct you to the right people or send you the form so you can send the request to Adobe Engineering that is then taking care about it.
There is a question.
Are there any real cases using EDS on AEM on premise? Oh,
that's an exotic combo.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm not sure if that is even possible, or if we provide EDS on-prem. So
I think for EDS you would need to use Adobe's Edge network, right, for the whole paradigm to work. So the moment you detach one from another by having on-prem AEM, this might become a bit trickier.
Yeah.
I think there were some rumors that it should work soon, but no one knows exactly when, I think. But I saw some announcement somewhere that it should be possible at one point, because at the end you only need to publish some markdown to the Edge backend.
Yeah, could be the case. To be honest, I don't know. As far as I know, Edge Delivery Services is available in cloud service and on managed service, but not on-prem. But yeah, maybe that's coming up. Let me try to follow up on that. Oh yeah, by the way, follow-ups. So as you experienced, or as you saw, we are still figuring out how to navigate this platform here. But the goal is to also share the slides with you and stay in touch. And so that way I can hopefully also follow up with such questions.
But Yevgen's question is a very good one. If you build it, then we have a topic for our next meetup, right? Yevgen can present the EDS running on AEM premises. No pressure. Yeah. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right, sorry.
I can do it.
I think one more point, and Jana, feel free to jump in. I mean, we try to get this group off the ground, let's say, in the, let's call it, official baby platform, and also following through to what Thomas had set up, right, with the AEM meetups, also have things happening on site, and also to have this, let's say, sense of community that also existed with AEM meetups at least in the DACH region, right? Why not expand in the future? And one of the reasons is we acknowledge, that Adobe has a huge global presence, but there are certain specificities, let's say, in the European markets that we need to consider. And this is one of the purposes of this group, right? For practitioners, for developers, architects, you name it, around AEM and Experience Cloud. So, and it's not a closed group. The core team that you saw there, we're not a closed group that we just decide what to do. Feel free to throw in ideas. If you want to present something, just get in touch with us. If you want to host an event, virtual or on-prem, be part of the presentation, or the hosting the actual event on site, just get in touch with us, right? We would more than welcome such suggestions, initiatives, etc. We want to grow the base. We want to become more active. So please stay tuned, but also reach out.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have any topics that you would like to talk about or that you would like to see, please also talk now. We have a couple of minutes left, so unmute yourself or write it in the chat. So yeah.
And we'll try to figure out the muting and video issue we had. I reached out to the admins in the background already. For now, everybody's a presenter, so straight away, it's just going on YouTube.
I see George has already a very nice avatar here.
Yes, but unfortunately not done with Firefly.
Yeah, we now have a new image model, right? It's image model 4. So the quality should get even better. Let's try it.
Definitely.
I think if there are no more questions, we can have a Feierabend, as we say in Germany, probably the DACH region as well, a bit earlier. You might be getting a post-event form or something, yet another form, but feel free to be honest and provide feedback on, more of what you'd like to see, more or less. You see, it's, I think, 2 or 3 questions and very short ones. So we don't want you to fill endless forms. And I want to thank everyone that took the time to participate. And I'll hand over to the other 2 presenters here in the host for the rest.
Yeah, I think, what else can I say? So thanks for your attending. Thanks for your excitement. I hope to see you soon again. And yeah, have a nice day.
Nothing more to add. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy the sun. You have it, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll stop recording now. Yeah.
Yeah.